Hey, buddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Civilization 6. Today we're going to be playing as the Khmer. I actually loaded up just a completely random game today because I didn't really know what to do, so I thought we would just jump in and find out who we were playing. Like, we just let the game choose for me, you know? So now, the Khmer, oh my goodness, the Khmer is going to pop off this game. That is an insane start. Oh, whoops, I forgot to activate all my UI mods. Give me one moment. All right, there we go. We got our tooltips. Oh my god, look at this start. Now, we've got a lot that we need to consider, actually, with this start location. We're talking serious food from double plantations. Now, we can't put anything but plantations on here, so I think we will do that. There's so much potential in the start location that I kind of really just need to think it over. Like, I just have a little bit of thing. Like, okay, so first of all, we need to talk about, like, the Khmer, right? And these are my favorite civilization in the entire game. I love everything about the Khmer. I love all of their abilities. I love all of their unique units, their holy sites, right? I love faith-based gameplay, and this is just it, right? Holy sites are granted a major adjacency with rivers, a culture bomb, food equivalent to its adjacency bonus, and +2 housing if it's on a river. So we've got 4 river tiles here that we could build our holy site on. We've got a holy site right here, holy site right here, holy site right here, and a holy site right here. We definitely want to have our holy sites on rivers when we're playing as the Khmer. We've also got Grand Barrays. Cities with an aqueduct receive +1 amenity from entertainment and +1 faith for every population. Farms provide +2 food if they are adjacent to an aqueduct and +1 faith if they are adjacent to a holy site. So cities with an aqueduct receive +1 amenity from entertainment. That's actually really good. It means we want to be building aqueducts in every city because it's just a free amenity. Also, giving a scaling faith per population is disgusting. So holy sites and aqueducts are the main 2 pieces of infrastructure that the Khmer build their empire around. Now, we're not going to be able to benefit much in this city from the farm adjacency to aqueducts or holy sites. And there is a question of how and where we want to settle the capital city. So we don't want to settle the capital city here. Well, that's actually not entirely true. We don't know if we want to settle the capital city here. I'm going to go over the arguments for each tile. So if we were to settle on the maze here, we would get to keep the +2 gold. We would have 2 places that would be viable aqueduct locations, either here on the cattle or here on this tile. And we would still have 2 viable locations for a holy site. Now, of all the holy site locations, I feel like this one over here is the best one because it's a 4 food, 4 faith tile. That would require a significant amount of gold to purchase out to here. However, actually, now that I'm looking at this, I really like settling on the maze because I could put an aqueduct here, okay? And then when I place a farm on this rice, it would get, not only would it get another +2 food, so this would be a 7 food tile, it would also get a +1 faith on it, and this would set up this city to be disgustingly powerful. We could also, in theory, get a okay harbor and possibly even a mausoleum in this city for us to be able to grow like a ridiculously large city as well. So I'm going to move to the maze. I'm going to settle on the maze. And the nice thing about settling on the maze is that it's going to give us the gold that we need to actually buy these 2 tiles that are going to be critical for our long-term play. I'm going to open, see, I'm not against, I like the idea of working the 5 food tile here because it significantly lowers the rate at which we, or rather, it significantly speeds up the rate at which we grow or reduces the amount of time required, right? I can give up, in the very early game, right? In the first, like maybe 30 turns of the game, as long as food and production are equally abundant, food and production are equally valuable, is what I would say. And food is a lot more abundant than production in this particular build. So I'm tempted to prioritize production first because being able to work this 2 production tile from right now would be really powerful. And then when we grow, we will be able to work these high food tiles. But I think that the production is going to matter a lot more because I don't, like if I had a lot of nice production tiles to grow to, I would maybe prioritize working the food. But the fact that I don't have a lot of production tiles to grow to makes me want to work the production tile. I'll still grow in a reasonable amount of time, right? It'll be about the time it takes me to get a slinger or a scout or even 2 scouts. And in this particular game, I'm really tempted to go mining into astrology and do something like double scout, settler, builder, holy site with the idea, or maybe even builder, settler, holy site with the idea of chopping the forest that the holy site's going to go down on. So yeah, I think double scout into holy site opener is the play this game. That's the standard play you want to do when you're playing any sort of holy site civ, in my opinion anyway. That's what I would consider to be the standard opener. We do see a reef here, which could open up really nice science technology. We also see a potential Petra city. There's a +4 holy site right there. And we want to be looking for those really high adjacency holy sites on rivers as the Khmer. I'm going to explore in a little circle. I will try to kill this barb camp. I think that's a reasonable thing for me to do. Let's send this scout to the northeast. Yes, we are exploring the tundra, but that means there's a high probability of actually finding goody huts and things down there. Right, let's try to clear this barb camp. The trick is to attack it once before you have Code of Laws, and then to heal up fully before you attack it again. Depending on how long it takes to get Code of Laws, that will dictate the number of times you attack. You never want to attack twice. You want to attack and then heal, because they actually have pretty high combat strength from being fortified. You want to chip away because they don't heal from being fortified. That's the unique advantage you have over barbarians. Okay, so there's mining. We have the option to chomp resources, which is where the builder is going to come in. We have met Lahore, and we were not the first to meet Lahore. Lahore is, of course, the one. It's a militaristic city-state, which gives us +1 production in our capital, and in every city that has a barracks or stable when they're producing units. Now, it's very key that that says units and not military units, because that actually counts towards builders and settlers. So if we can get an envoy into Lahore pretty early, right, by training a galley, that would actually help us with our settler or builder production. And the same is true for the higher tier envoys, right? You've got +2 production in every city with an armory or a consulate, and +4 if it has both of those buildings. Similarly, +6, or rather at 6 envoys, you got +3 production in every city with a military academy or a chancery when producing units, and +6 if it has both of those buildings, with their unique bonus being that our cities can now train Nihangs. It's a unique promotion, a unit with a unique promotion tree that can be purchased with faith. The combat strength is increased when barracks, armory, and military academies are first produced or constructed. Now, the really nice thing about the Nihang, if I pop up into our build here, or into the Civilopedia, the Nihang is a 2 movement speed unit with 25 melee strength. It gets 15 melee strength every time you build a barracks, armory, or military academy, so it can get up to 45 extra military strength, which I think brings it up to about 70 base strength, and then an extra 17 from army and core. And it gets pretty good promotions when it levels up. And it's only 200 faith, and considering we are playing a faith civ, the Nihang could be a very useful unit to defend ourselves. So Lahore, you know, at the very least in the early game, they're going to figure into some of our defenses. I'm hopeful that we can pick up something good here. A free promotion on a scout is not the worst thing that you can get. It is also not the best. The second scout I'm going to try to send through this mountain range. Now, it does look like this isn't actually a pathway through the mountain range, but I still think it's worth it to check. More realistically, the better scouting path would be down. But if this is open, I would like to know. And if it isn't open, I'm willing to sacrifice a turn of scouting to know that for certain, because that might dictate where another civ is able to attack me from, right? Stuff like that. Now, we got 2 settlers, or 2 scouts in Anchor Thom. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a settler. I'm going to tell my city to prioritize production for now while we're building a settler, because we want to be able to build it faster. Growth while building settlers isn't that important, because when you finish a settler, a lot of the growth is discarded by minusing a population, so the production is a little bit more important. Now, we have the gold to purchase the first tile, this one. We need to save up the money to buy this tile for the holy site. It's unfortunately a necessary step. Code of Laws in 3 turns. I think it's reasonable for us to attack and then heal for 2 more turns. We took 38 damage, which means that would take, in theory, 4 turns to heal. It shouldn't take that long. I'm going to promote this scout with the faster movement on hill promotion. I'm going to step 1 tile to the right, and it is in fact an enclosed space, which means that this could be actually a pretty good campus. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to build a campus, so we definitely want our holy sites. We definitely want a trade route. There's Code of Laws. I'm not going to need a fast pantheon. River Goddess would be disgustingly good, but I will get that when the time comes. So instead, I'm going to take discipline and urban planning because I'm light on production, and we should be able to get a really strong faith gain as this civ anyway. Hopefully we can get River Goddess. I'm going to take foreign trade as our opener. We want access to that trader if we can get it, but more importantly, that leads us towards the 50% production boost towards settlers from early empire, so that's kind of like the direction that we want to go. Now that my warrior has +5 combat strength against barbarians, this is just a stalemate, so 1 more attack should get him a level. I'll level him up, and then he should clear it up the turn after he levels. I'll attack this enemy scout because we have a bit of a combat advantage. Now, if I recall correctly, this is a Highlands map, so that is worth considering. I'm going to take the battle cry promotion on my warrior because that makes him much stronger against the spearmen in the camp, so we'll be able to clear that much easier. Looking like we have some pretty decent land over here. Would like to make sure that I can settle my cities in range of a river so that we can build holy sites on rivers. I'm going to take a moment to heal on my scout here. I want to be nice and safe. We're going to clear this barb camp. Perfect. Military tradition boosted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it was just out of range. I thought it was actually within 6 range. We would have got full era score if it was within 6 range. I believe you get 3 era score if a barb camp is within 6 tiles of your city. Let's go ahead and kill this barb. That's a second barb killed. So we've killed 2 barbarians, which is 2 of the 3 that you require for bronze working. Makes me quite happy. We have met Alexander. I'm going to say it's an honor to meet you. We're going to sample his hospitality. I'm even going to talk to him. I'm going to send him a delegation to improve his relationship. We want to try to have as high a relationship with him as possible. We set up a delegation. First impression of you is only -3. It's good stuff. He is pretty close. We may want to settle a city right here. 1, 2, 3. Still theoretically reach a river. We may want to settle this city because it's in a really, really defensible spot. It also gets us access to an extra amenity. The truffles, it's on fresh water. I can get a aqueduct in here. I can get a holy site on a river. This all looks really good to me. Oh, we found the Giant's Causeway. So the Giant's Causeway is huge. +5 combat strength, the Spear of Fionn. Adjacent plots also give +1 culture, is amazing. There's astrology now finished thanks to the boost from that. I'm going to step aside it to get the Spear of Fionn, and I'm going to take a moment to heal up. This is very powerful. I don't know if it's safe for me to rush a settler over beside it. It would be very, very good if I could do that. We have holy sites. I'm going to research sailing. There are a couple of things nearby, but mostly I have also boosted it, so I think researching it is good. Somebody has built the Great Bath already. That's a turn 22 Great Bath there, if you're wondering how fast that was. I should really send you up to go get that promotion. You're going to take a moment to heal as well, Mr. Scout, and 3 turns until our settler comes out. I'm thinking this city right here makes a lot of sense to defend my empire. 1, 2, 3, and then if I can get a holy site right there, that would be pretty nice. Should be on a river beside a mountain, which is a +3 minimum. I want to meet this player too. It looks like it's Canada. It's an honor to meet you, Canada. I'm going to come in. I'm going to send a delegation to Canada. We're going to take a look. -8 first impression of you. That's pretty painful. I know that it isn't random, but the first impression thing has always felt random to me. No matter how much people tell me that it isn't random. I'm going to queue up a builder so that we can get them out and down here to chop this, build their monument, and then the holy site will go down. So I think that's how we'll do it. Go ahead and kill that scout. That'll be our 3rd scout killed, getting us the boost for bronze working, which is fantastic. Foreign trade is now completed, so we get the nice boosts here. Most importantly, we get access to that caravansary. I don't think I need to change anything here. The +1 production is perfect. We are going to begin the research of early empire. It's going to make settling a lot easier. I'll start moving that settler down here. I need this defensive city up. I'm going to bring my scout back down left because I want to know a little bit more about this terrain. I've got a pretty choked empire when it comes to rivers. There we go. My warrior has the Spear of Fionn now, giving it +5 base combat strength, which is genuinely incredible. All right, sailing is complete. We have access to fishing boats, builders to embark. Let's go ahead and explore with you. We have met another city-state. It's Kumasi. They're a cultural city-state. We were the first to meet them, so we get +1 culture in our capital, as well as in every amphitheater. We also get +2 culture in every art, archaeological, and consulate building, and +4 in cities that have both. We get +3 culture, +2 in every building, +3 culture in every broadcast center and chancery building, and they will give us trade routes to any city-state. Will provide +2 culture and +2 gold for every specialty city in the origin city. Kumasi is one of the most powerful city-states in the game, so that's going to be one of the hugest, most powerful priorities for us when we start looking to get our trade routes online. Okay, so looking at the situation here, I want to delay the research of animal husbandry plus any technology that has a district on it, because I want to make sure that I keep the number of tiles available to a maximum. I don't want them to be taken up by strategic resources, and I also don't want my districts to be more difficult to get the discount bonus on. Let's grab this tribal village, +1 population in the capital. That's very nice. Good production flowing on through. I'm seeing a lot of potential chops down here in the 2nd city. That would point me in the direction of potentially going for a Magnus first on that city. All right, exploration is happening. I think we just found another continent. We're up to 13 era score. We need to get 25. I don't know if we're going to be able to found a religion before the era ends. If we can found a religion before the era ends, we should be able to secure a golden age, especially if we build a galley at some point. We have the extra +2 income, which makes our life a little bit easier in that respect. Yeah, production is kind of a lot more important to me in this early game than anything else, really. Unfortunately, I don't have any 2 production tops. I guess I could buy the stone here, and I think I will when I have the money for it. All right, Alexander is mad at me because he's like, how do you intend on growing your empire if you refuse to fight for your people? Because I haven't declared any wars. No, it's turned 31 into the game, and he's like, bro, you haven't declared any wars. And I'm like, bro, I haven't made a unit. So we placed our city on a continent that we had not settled, which is actually really good for me. I hadn't realized that we were on a separate continent. But what's really good about this is it means that truffles will not be available in Laurasia because it's a different continent's luxury. So we've basically secured a luxury that we would possibly not normally have access to. Oh, this spot is getting better every tile I reveal. So in Yaso Darapura, I'm going to put a single turn into a monument. I'm going to tell the city to work the truffles because it's a 2 food, 2 production, 3 gold tile, which will give me plenty of gold to buy tiles in this city. In fact, I will buy this tile, and look at that. When I have the gold to buy this, I'll slap down a holy site right there. Until then, I'm actually going to build myself a warrior first. And the reason that I'm building a warrior is that I need the ability to defend myself. A warrior camped in a city will give it a lot more health. I'm going to research irrigation now because, again, it doesn't reveal strategic resources and it doesn't do any of the negative band stuff that some of the technologies kind of technically do. Alexander is denouncing me, and this is one of the biggest problems with an early religion build, is that the AI denounces you and declares war on you. So I'm going to bring my other warrior back to defend this. I'm pretty sure a fortified warrior on this tile and a fortified warrior on this tile makes this city basically impenetrable without seriously high-tech units slamming into them, especially if they have the Spear of Fionn ability. Awesome, we met Candy. Candy's another fantastic pickup, especially if we can get suzerainty of them. We receive a relic every time we discover a new natural wonder, and we get extra faith from relics. That could be amazing, particularly for the Khmer, where they go for like a faith-based game. I'm going to fortify my scout here so he can't get a warrior in between my empire and cause a bunch of issues. I'm going to chop this woods, even though I don't want to be using up a chop like this early in the game, but it's so I don't waste a chop when I'm placing this holy site, and then I'm going to bring this guy back to chop out this. This is how I get the sort of return on investment from this builder back into my empire. All right, I'm going to build a farm right here because that will boost irrigation, give me access to plantations, and then I'm tempted to build a sugar plantation as well, or possibly even a tea plantation. All right, sick. There's early empire. We reduce the cost of purchasing tiles, production towards settlers, all that good stuff. I'm going to keep in discipline so my units can fight better. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I'm going to begin the research of craftsmanship and state workforce. Question is, do I chop? Well, I think that +1 production per turn is actually worth a lot, and the chop, I'll save the chop for later. Governor appointment. I think I'm tempted to grab Magnus and put him into my second city because he will provide us. Oh wow, that's a lot of settling that's going on with them. Because he will provide us with the ability to do a lot of crazy chopping in here. I mean, look at all this land that's choppable right now. All right, my scout is no longer required to defend Yasodharapura. Let's improve the sugar, which should get rid of the negative amenity situation in here. It'll also get us +2 gold, which means we can buy this tile even sooner. All right, second warrior created, and if I park it on this tile, the city is basically protected. Now we can safely go ahead, buy this tile, place the +5 holy site. It'll take 13 turns to get created, and already a couple of great profits have gone, which almost certainly mean that Feed the World and Choral Music will go. It sucks when you don't get it because the AI almost always takes it, but that is just the way the cookie crumbles. I don't want to get my scout shot by this archer, so we'll kind of skirt around him. Fortify this warrior right there. I'm thinking my next city will probably go on this hill, and I also think that we might try to go for a Petra in here. The first era is starting to shake out. 10 turns until it's over. There's a +3 era score from having a really high adjacency holy site, and that's going to get us an insane amount of food in here. So again, I'm happy to stay on production focus because we get that +4 food from the holy site. Now, if I were to build a galley, let me come in here. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to plug in maritime industry to be able to build a galley. I will get a pantheon. I'll found a religion. I need to keep urban planning, I think. I can get a galley in 3 turns, and then I might be able to squeeze out a holy site prayer or 2. I won't be able to purchase a galley unless I were to sell my sugar. If I sell my sugar and I sell my open borders, I can just about afford a galley. Yeah, I'm taking a 10% hit to production, but I think that's actually not the worst thing in the world. All right, 6 turns until the era ends. Looks like we're trapped inside Alexander's borders, which is annoying. The first holy site prayer has fired. We invented the wheel. Oh, it actually didn't fire because we upgraded our tech. That's unfortunate. Well, I guess now is the time of research animal husbandry. Reveal those strategics so we can start selling them to the AI. First holy site prayer is completed. 4 turns until the next era. I don't think we're going to be able to get a religion in time for the next era. We still want a religion really fast. Yeah, there goes Feed the World. They always take Feed the World. They like Feed the World and Choral Music. That's what the AI is addicted to. I'm going to invest in a shrine. Try and get my religion founded and set up. Lovely. We found another tribal village. Grab that. +1 envoy. This envoy I will park in Candy. +1 faith per turn. That's really powerful. It'll be another +1 faith once we have the shrine. There's animal husbandry. 2 turns until the era is over. I could buy the galley, but it wouldn't get me a golden age, so I'm going to save the galley golden age points for the next era. I'm going to research archery. I get to choose a pantheon at least. And I do think River Goddess is the play when you're playing as the Khmer. +2 amenities, +2 housing, 2 cities if they have a holy site adjacent to a river. That's just so much amenities, so much housing. We're already up to 11 housing in Angkor Thom with a 6 pop city, +1 era score. Damn, we were really close to a golden age. I think actually, here's the thing. If I had cleared that barb camp and purchased it, if I had cleared that barb camp with a city within 6 tiles, I would have, and bought a galley, I would have been 1 point away, which means I would have needed to find one more tribal village or meet one more player. So it's extremely tough to get a golden age in Deity Civ 6, but we were really, 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 really close. Now, I think we are going to go ahead. We have Magnus for the chops. I think the natural thing to do is to pick up Pingala next because he provides so much culture, so much faith. I'll park him in the capital. The capital is going to have so much population. Pingala scales off of population with both of his abilities. We'll go for Connoisseur first, then Researcher. We need to start thinking about where our government plaza is going to go, all that stuff. All that stuff needs to be considered. Let's go to the next turn. In terms of dedication, I'm going to go for Exodus the Evangelist. So we get era score for spreading our religion. I want to spread my religion to my nearby neighbors. It'll give me some advantages, and I can even go for a type of religion that benefits off of being spread. I could afford another builder. I can afford a builder in Yasodapura. With a Magnus in play, I think with little else to do with my gold, I think that's actually a reasonable use. Let's get the truffles improved. We got the Shrine and Anchor Thom. Let's do one more Holy Site prayer. We want to secure this great prophet as soon as possible, so we need to nail that second Holy Site prayer. Right, there's archery. Grab that tribal village. There's drama and poetry. Oh boy, a lot of barbs up there. The barbs in the north. We need to build the ice wall. All right, let's research masonry. Holy Site is completed in Yasodapura. Let's grab the shrine. We need the faith income to spread and defend our religion. I'm going to chop 57 production here. That'll put 2 turns on the shrine, which is incredible. You need to retreat directly away, avoid the volcano. Then we're going to put a camp on this for the +2 gold. So our gold line is incredible. No one wants to buy my pigs. We got the shrine. Let's get the monument next. Temple of Artemis would be a very interesting pickup, actually. Let me have a think about this. Temple of Artemis on this tile is, if I open up there is a way to do this. It's in the city overlap lens. I go to range 4 and I go to mouse. If I built this here, it would theoretically be worth 5 amenities, 4 of which would land in my capital. So I am tempted to go for the Temple of Artemis. That could be an incredibly powerful thing. So I'm just going to hit Shift Enter. 25 turns. If I hit Shift Enter, it should end the turn. And then if I pre-chop 57 production into the Temple of Artemis, that will do that. We should be able to look to maybe buy another builder in the not too distant future. All right, let's see if we can scuttle away past that volcano without taking any damage. Holy Site prayer is about to go. 3 religions have already gone. That's how fast religion goes on Deity, dude. You gotta be, it's virtually impossible to get first religion on Deity unless you get a really, really high roll. Classical Republic fits incredibly well with my build right now. All of our cities already have districts, so we get that +1 housing, +1 amenity. The 15% Great People points will apply to Great Profits, meaning we get a faith boost. So naturally, we just go for that. +2 era score as well. I am going to immediately plug in faster settler production and faster builder production. I'm going to say +2 influence per turn. We should be able to fight off barbarians with just archers at this point. And speaking of which, we're going to need an archer. We're about to get our Great Prophet next turn, so we're good. We don't need to change anything, right? We got 58 out of 60 points, 21 Great Prophets points earned this turn, so we should be fine there. I'm going to get myself an archer just to protect myself from any barbarian incursions coming down from the north to be annoying. Now, let's go ahead and research mysticism. We basically want to rush the Prasat, which is the Khmer's other unique, major unique ability here. It gives +6 faith. It's a building unique to Khmer. It replaces the temple. It's required to purchase apostles and inquisitors with faith. It gives 0.5 culture for every population in the city. And once flight is researched, you receive +10 tourism if the city is 10 population or higher, or 20 tourism if the population is 20 or higher. It's incredibly powerful, and that's what we basically just want to click this and rush towards it. All right, here comes our Great Prophet. Let's get him onto the district. I'm going to get this scout to heal up a little bit. I feel like our scouting pattern has been pretty weak. We did meet Harold, which is great. Let's go ahead and talk to Harold. I'm going to send him a delegation, and I'm also going to ask him for mutual open borders. AI loves mutual open borders. It makes them happy. And when you first meet an AI, you want to do delegation, open borders to make them happy. And that only works on standard speed, by the way. If you play on a different game speed, they won't take the deal. All right. Religion founded. A lot of the really good abilities are gone. However, we will be starting the wet and wild religion, owing to the fact that the river goddess is our pantheon, and your mom is our river goddess. Oh yeah. So in terms of the Khmer, reliquaries used to scale amazingly with the Khmer, but I think I prefer work ethic this build. Jesuit education doesn't really fit in. Zen meditation is okay. Divine inspiration is okay, but we haven't really built any world wonders. Religious community is fine, but I think considering choral music, feed the world, and warrior, well, choral music and feed the worlds are what I would consider the two main beliefs for religion. Getting, oh god, the Wet and Wilds needs to be renamed. I think work ethic is the best choice that we have in this particular instance. Now, in terms of which building to go for, in my opinion, the pagoda is just straight up the most powerful in the entire game because it gives you that +1 diplomatic favor per turn, which you can sell to the AI. In terms of like what my favorite one is, I love the Stupa. +1 amenities is a lot of fun to play around with. I like the Gurdwara. I think my least favorite is the Dar A Mer. +1 additional faith for each era since constructed. Like, I've never seen the point in building this or even the synagogue. Mosques are really awesome if you are trying to spread your religion. And that might be something we consider doing this game. We might want to consider spreading our religion. Like, it's not a terrible thing to do. Like, if we did mosque plus cross-cultural dialogue, that has a lot of value, right? It means that we can convert faith into science through spreading our religion, and we convert faith into spreads more efficiently using mosques. So there is something to be said for going for cross-cultural dialogue plus mosques in this particular game. It does mean we're going to have a harder time with gold, because normally we would take either tithe or the other gold one, which I think one of the other AIs took, unless like some mod activated that's making my brain melt. I do like papal primacy. That's pretty cool. Lets you spread your religion using those guys. Religious colonization also could be really good for us here, letting us spread our religion through settlers. I kind of like the idea of maybe going cross-cultural dialogue plus mosques. I'm going to go for mosques at the very least. So work ethic plus mosques. Found this religion. There's +2 era score. Beautifully, we founded our religion. We do want to evangelize our religion, if at all possible. So if we could build a Mahabodhi temple, that would be incredible because it would give us +2 free apostles, which is a huge injection of faith into our economy. And I'm thinking if we're going to try to build a Mahabodhi temple, it should be over here because it needs to be built on a forest adjacent to a holy site. And Yaso Darapura has at least 1, 2, well, not that chop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chops within easy range. 6 chops if you include this one. So I think this would be the best place to like buy 2 quick builders in, chop, chop, chop. The Temple of Artemis plus the thingy. I think that is kind of like the plan, so to speak, while maybe we crank out settlers and archers from Angkor Thom and build a couple of key wonders in Yaso Darapura. I would like to actually get my hands on Celestial Navigation so that I could build the harbor. I do think this is a game where a potential mausoleum could be good. This is, I believe, technically coast and not lake. So that means we would benefit from the mausoleum. If I hold down control, every tile that is a water tile that is highlighted in red right now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 potential mausoleum tiles, which is +1 science, +1 faith, +1 culture and all coastal tiles. And then add to the fact that the harbor has things like the lighthouse, which gives you +1 food and all coastal tiles. Then you've got the shipyard, which gives you +1 production on all coastal tiles, and then you've got the seaport, which gives you +2 gold on all coastal tiles. We're starting to look at like there's a lot of potential resources that we can extract from this water that we wouldn't normally be able to get if we can go for the mausoleum plus a harbor. So I think that is kind of a tempting decision. Now, also, I do think in Yaso Darapura, we're going to go for a commercial hub over here, and that's going to be one of the first. Well, it's probably going to be the next district that we research. So I'm probably going to go Celestial Navigation straight to currency. And in terms of other wonders, I think it would be nice if we got the Hagia Sophia, this one, for the missionaries and apostles, spread faith 1 extra time. So I would love to get this, but that would require us to research shipbuilding, which, 2 galleys. So we could maybe look into that after we've kind of spent a bit of time here. But the big thing is we need to get the religion evangelized through using theology. But with the foundation of this religion and the insane potential of a game set up with a very interesting political situation, with the most militaristic civ in the entire game adjacent to the least militaristic civ in the entire game right on my doorstep, with an entire western landmass open to my left, I think I'm going to call that the end of this episode and the end of this video. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.